like I said, man, it's just laughable. Like I said, the people that's making videos trying to discredit Bud, for his stoppage of Kell Brook and just changing the narrative and pushing it. This is typical trying to push the goalpost back. But like I told you, I expected this to happen and I predicted this would happen. I knew if Bud like blew through Kell Brook quicker than Errol Spence, somehow Errol Spence is getting credit for Bud's victory. No, it was Bud. Like I said, if Bud, uh, you know what I'm saying? If Bud made it to the point to where Kell Brook is washed up, it's because Bud made him washed up. I'm not finna give somebody credit for what somebody else did. Okay? And like I said, I see the excuses flying. At the end of the day, it's certain people they get nervous and they could pretend that they not get nervous. Cause like I said, at the end of the day, stop coming on here making excuses. Y'all told Bud to fight this dude. Y'all asked for this fight. And like I said, it's always a narrative. You know what I'm saying? You always try to change the narrative. Now is Bud is ducking Sean Porter. Bud ain't ducking Sean Porter, but I will say this much. Sean versus Bud would be a very, very interesting fight. Very interesting fight. I would like to see that fight. I feel like Sean has the type of style that could give Bud fits. I just think that Sean could get under Bud and fight him and try to pound him on the inside. And I feel there's going to be certain times where Sean could take away Bud's range. So it would be an interesting fight. One thing about Sean, lately Sean's been coming to fight. He hasn't been fighting how he was fighting a few years ago where he had what you would call an unfan friendly style. But lately, Sean has been, he's been more offensive minded in his fights. But nevertheless, I'll be talking to Kenny shortly, probably in a couple of days. I'm gonna get his take on the fight, and I think it's gonna be very interesting. But like I said before, a lot of people was hoping that Bud lose this fight. And like I said before, if you was hoping that Bud lose this fight, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. And I'm just keeping it 100 because you basically saying you don't really want the Errol Spence fight to happen. I'm going to say this and I'm going to make this very clear. At the end of the day, you can't keep hating a man and having this animosity for a dude because at the end of the day, he's chosen not to do interviews with certain people and certain media outlets. Do I like it? Like I said before, absolutely not. And Bud, he explained himself, and it was kind of interesting what Bud had to say about that. And to a certain degree, Bud was right. But to a certain degree, I disagreed with him on some of the things he said because at the end of the day, I've never really attacked Bud and said anything fucked up about Bud. and, and I barely got Bud to say things to me, over the time I've been covering boxing. So that still isn't a reason to have this animosity towards him just because he don't do, interviews with some of my brothers in the LDBC. Because at the end of the day, we just got to move on. For real, Bud is a very talented fighter. He is who he is. And we got to move on. We got to get this hate out of our heart that we got for him. Because like I said, he's granted certain media outlets interviews versus, others. And like I said, I'm working on getting Bud on my show. But for real, we have to give this man his props. He's a great fighter. He's a very talented fighter. And for you to always constantly try to chop this man down because of what you didn't heard people say about this dude, then like I said, you ain't no better than the people that's putting the shit out about the dude. I'm just keeping it real. A lot of these dudes have an agenda and I'm just keeping it 100. I've moved past the shit. I moved past it. If I can get over it, I feel everybody else need to get over it. And we need to stop doing this to this dude, because at the end of the day, Bud is still a black man. You know, and that's just real talk. He's still a black man. Like I said before, we can't make the man interview with us if he doesn't want to interview with us. Like I keep saying, when he's ready, he'll be ready. But as I said before, I'm not falling in line with this order to like try to demean this man and discredit him as a fighter. Because at the end of the day, people then took this shit too personal. For real. Certain people just didn't took this too just took this too personal. They didn't took it too far. You know, no matter who he fights, they'll try to discredit this dude. And to me, you acting like the same media that you saying that you different from. You basically doing their tactics. So I'm just putting that out there. I'm not talking about no specific person or nobody, but like I said before, at the end of the day, if you think I'm talking about you, then, that's your fucking problem. I'm just talking about people in general, because there's more than one person that try to do that shit. So like I said, I'm not talking about no specific person, because like if, for real. Then if I was going to say their name, I'll just say their name. I'm not worried about no person that's on the internet. Not worried about that shit. But at the end of the day, I'm just trying to stay mess free and shit. But like I said, I'm not talking about no specific person, because I've seen a few people doing that. But like I said before, the issue that I have is people just totally trying to discredit what this man did today. Today was a great victory for him. It was a great fight. Kell Brook is a more than incredible opponent. It's not Bud's fault that he took him apart quicker than Triple G or Errol Spence did. Once again, that really don't mean nothing. But like I said, it sounds good when you want to, brag or, get views or whatever the case may be. So I'm just keeping it 100, but for real, man, stop with the Bud hate, man, because like I said, I want the Errol Spence fight. And I mean, if you so confident in Errol Spence, and I want to make this clear, I don't have nothing against Errol Spence neither. I don't want people to think this is an attack on Errol Spence. But at the end of the day, if you Errol Spence apologists and Al Heyman apologists if you guys are as comfortable and contempt and have the belief that, Bud is an easy fight for Errol Spence, then, like I said, why was y'all rooting for Kell Brook to beat this man? Why was y'all hoping and praying that Kell Brook win this fight? That kind of don't make no sense. So I'm just saying, you say on one end, hey, Errol Spence will destroy, Terrence Crawford. But yet Bud destroys a former foe of Errol Spence, and he gets one step closer to the Errol Spence fight. Then here come the excuses. And it's good to see do a side-by-side comparison of a common opponent that they both shared. So, I just needed to put that out there, man, because this shit needed to be said, man. But for real, man, stop with the Bud hate, man. You're not looking good right now. This is your boy Town Biz. I'm out.